Hello and welcome to Gettin' Crafty with Kimberly, a show focused on neat and crafty ideas that can be made inexpensively or with items found around your home. If you're upcycling or if you're starting from scratch, you're going to love this show. Today we're going to be making something called a bucket light. I don't know if that's the official name of it or not, but that's what we're going to call it. If you've not heard of a bucket light, you need to stick around because these are really, really neat. I'll show you what I'm talking about. We've got one that we already made here. We've embellished a little bit. When I went camping a while back, I saw one of these strung over a tree with a cord, and I thought that is the neatest thing I have ever seen. So I went up to the folks, of course, and I asked them, what in the world is that and how did you do it? So I'm going to pass along how they told me to do it to you. What you'll need for items today to start, you'll need a bucket. Now for the sake of size and stuff, I'm using a 2.5 gallon bucket. Plus, I already had it around the house. Again, it was free. You'll need a junction box. You'll need a light fixture. This was something that came off of an old light fixture that was from a yard sale or going to a yard sale, and you can strip it down and you have a light fixture. So again, another free item that has been upcycled. You'll need some silicone, which you probably have laying around, and a drill, a magic marker, and then you'll need a bulb for when you get finished. All right, so let's get started right away. Now the first thing you'll want to do, and for time's sake, I've gone ahead and gotten this one ready, but I'm going to show you how I did it anyway. I've got on my drill a 1/2 inch spade bit, and I have found this one to be the best one because it makes a perfect hole. What you want to do is get your lid, put your lid down, and then you'll want to punch out a hole in your junction box and make your marks. Now on a 5 gallon bucket, there was no knot right there, so that's better if you can work on a smooth surface, but if not, it doesn't matter because it doesn't affect the way that your light hangs or anything. Nothing, no problems there. So you'll want to put your junction box on the inside. This is going to be your outside, and you'll see why we're putting it on the inside in just a few minutes. So you've got your bucket, your lid fits like that. Take it off, turn the lid over. Now, we'll want to draw our junction box. We're going to draw the holes with our Sharpie. And there we go. We've got our holes drawn for where the junction box will attach. All right, now, as I said, I pre-drilled these already, but just in case. Right here, I'm going to use my 1/2 inch spade bit. Drill the hole in the center, and you want it to be in the center because that's where your light's going to be pretty much. All right, then just with the little tip of it, I'm going to put my screw holes right in there. All right, so now we have our holes pre-drilled. We're going to make sure that our cord will fit, and it will. So any cord that you use, this cord was upcycled because it got ran over by a lawnmower. And it's an outside cord, and there's no way that you can waste a good extension cord, because these things are high. If you go to buy one, they're pretty high. So when I get one, I always like to repurpose it. All right, so what we're going to do now is attach our junction box onto our lid of our bucket. Okay. Got my junction things here. Now, I'm going to put just a little plop of silicone on the nuts that I've used. And by the way, this would be your own discretion. Use the drill bit according to the size of nails that you're going to do, but I use these nails here, 3/4 inch. All right, we'll put just a touch and drop it down into the little hole like so. You can see I put that little nut right there. Do the same on the other side. All right, so I've got those guys going there. And now I'm going to go ahead and push my screw through. Now you'll notice that I turned the lid to the outside. The reason you're going to turn the lid to the outside is because when you get your junction box, you want all your fixings inside the bucket so they'll be hidden. And all you'll have here is just some flat screws. And you can even paint them up and make them look even nicer. All right, so I'm going to get this started. And again, put your screws through the top of your lid. Okay, and the junction box will go inside of your area there. Okay, now I'm just going to screw this on. All right, I've got one on. Now I'm going to get the other one going. If I can find my screw, I don't know what I did with my screw. All right. And I've lost another screw. It's better than losing my marbles, I guess. Oh, here it is, right here. All right, so we're going to put this in here and get it started. All right, I'm going to get this one going. All right, now as you can see, we've got that on there. Again, this is the top of your lid, and this is the inside. Your junction box is fitting very nicely. Looks like it's going to work very well. Now, with my cord here that I've got, if you want to, I have seen recently at your hardware stores, they actually make an extension cord that has the female end already cut off of it and has your prongs that you need. So you may, if you want to put a couple of dollars into them, they're $6, $7, $8, something like that. If you want to spend a little bit, you can get those. If not, we'll just go ahead and I'll show you how to make a cord. All right, so you'll cut the female end off of this cord. Then you'll want to strip the wire. All right, so I got that cut off. Now you're only going to use the hot and the neutral. So since we have nothing to ground it to, we're going to cut off our ground wire. All right, so our ground wire's gone. Now we've got to strip a little bit of this so we can wire that to our light switch. You don't want to push too hard or you'll end up cutting your wires off. I'm not going to do quite so much there. I'm going to have to mash it a little bit harder though. There we go. All right, so we got that all set. Now I'm going to twist these up and make them real tight. Make them little bitty so they'll be able to go around our junction box. I mean our light switch. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to take my lid and I'm going to go to the outside of the lid and I'm going to put the cord right through here. I'm going to tie a knot in it so it doesn't go through. And you want to make this knot where you'll still have room to put these things inside. So maybe don't go too far. Right now, I'm going to hook these on to the light switch. Please be very careful at this part because you don't want to plug this thing in and it wired incorrectly. So we're going to go with the white, which is neutral, and the silver is neutral. So I'm going to wrap that around there. Make sure I've got a whole good wrap, and then I'm going to tighten this down. Okay, and I think we've got that on there very well. Feels pretty good. Now, the black is the hot wire, as is the brass on the hot wire. And most of your newer light switches, light boxes, will say hot, copper, black. All right, so we're going to get this one on. And I think we've got this one on quite well also. All right, so now we're going to push that down in there and get our screws. Go ahead and put this one in. See if I can get that squeezed through there. Well, I'm going to start threading it with my fingers, and then I'm going to get my screwdriver. Now my other screw I dropped somewhere, so let's just pretend like I didn't drop my screw somewhere, and this is going to stay on pretty good. But you would actually put, so let's pretend here. Okay, we got our screw in that one too. All right, now you see it's going to stay on very well. This is extremely nice. All right, so we've got everything ready to go. Now we need a bulb. You need to use a fluorescent bulb, because if you use an incandescent bulb, you're going to blow everything up. Well, not really blow everything up, I was teasing about that. But you will melt your bucket, and you don't want to melt your bucket or start a fire. And this right here is not a fire hazard at all if you use a fluorescent bulb. Plus, it's energy saving, and these are just fantastic bulbs. So make sure and get your fluorescent bulb. Got it all in there. Put everything inside your bucket light. Lid. Snap the lid on. And get your silicone. You could even use a caulk if you wanted to, but I like the silicone. So I'm going to actually had the silicone, that's why I'm using it. You'll want to make sure you cover up the hole where your cord is at. You want to cover it very, very well, because you do not want water leaking down in that. This is going to be, at least mine is going to be outside. You may have yours on a back porch or something, but still better to weatherproof it than not weatherproof it. So you'll want to put up there. And there are some 5-minute glues that you could go with. You can use something at your discretion. Just make sure that it's something that can get wet. And also, I'm going to put a little bit around these screws too, just for safety's sake. I don't want any water getting into any of my holes that I've made in the bucket. Electricity and water don't usually mix. All right, so we would let this dry for a little bit, normally, whatever your directions say on the glue that you use, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 24 hours, whatever. And then you'll have your bucket light. But first, we're going to embellish this one a little bit, kind of personalize it and make it our own. So I brought some goodies with me today to show you how to do. I'm going to put a daisy on this one, and I'm going to write my name on it. That way there's going to be no mistaking when we go somewhere of who this bucket light belongs to. Okay, so I've got that on there. Okay, we'll paint that in a second. I got a whole carton of these for just like nothing, stencils. So you can do stencils, anything you wanted to do like that. I also got these letters very inexpensively, and I'm going to put my name on the bucket. I love these little letters. You could use anything, vinyl letters, anything you wanted to. Just make the bucket your own. And the good news is when you travel with it, you can put everything inside of it. So it's useful and functional as well as really, really cute. All right, so I got my name on mine. Now I'm going to paint me a big old flower on it. So let's see, I think I will use, I think I'll use this fuchsia because I like my pinks. So I'm going to use this to do that. And I think I'll use this brush. This looks like a good one. A little bit of paint out there. And I'm just going to paint my daisy. Now again, you don't have to embellish them, but something that would be really neat is around the 4th of July or something, if you had some type of a flag sticker, that would be really, really patriotic and very cute. And I think I'm going to go ahead and paint this one two-tone while I'm at it. I think I'm going to make this one also a yellow. I like yellows a lot. Yellows are fun right now. Use a smaller paintbrush so I can get in there. And let that dry just a little bit. And it's going to be the cutest flower that I've made in a long time. So that is really going to be cute. What I think I'm going to dot my eye too with the lime green sticker. I think I'm going to dot it all crazy like that. Very cute. Now I'm going to put another embellishment on it because I really like those. I think I'll do a different kind of a flower this time. A little flower pot for the other side. I'll punch out my stencil. It's going to be really cute. You can use any kind of stencil you want, not use a stencil. It really doesn't matter. This is your bucket light. Of course, you may want to put your name on it like I did so everybody will know it's your bucket light. Take me another stencil to it. I'm going to make this one a little bit sideways, a little bit wacky. That's going to match the personality of my bucket. My bucket's a little wacky. Now, they sell different color buckets. I don't recommend using a different color bucket because the lighting does not turn out like it does on your white bucket. Your white bucket is better because it shows more light. It actually gives you more light. All around, it's just a better situation. They make green buckets and blue buckets and different colors of buckets, but my recommendation to you is to use a white bucket. I'm going to paint this flower. I love having these little paints. I can't tell you how many times I've used these little paints. Millions and millions. I'm going to make our bottom part here. I think I'm going to go ahead and make it pink. And then I believe that I'll paint the leaves a green color. All right. Okay. Paint that green. But did you think the bucket light was very hard to make? I hope not, because it really wasn't. It's just a matter of taking a few minutes to do it. Most of the folks that I've talked to have said it's taken them about 15 or 20 minutes. The first one that I made took me about 45 minutes because I kept struggling with my utensils. So probably should be glad that we had some of the stuff redone today. All right, here is my bucket light. I'm going to take this stencil off. It's still a little wet, so if it doesn't look that great, forgive me. For time's sake, we're just trying to make sure that we're in good shape here. I don't want to keep you all day working on my bucket light. And then I'll go ahead and peel this one off and we'll see how it looks. You'll want to be very careful though when you are working with the electricity on your bucket light because it is hot. Also, if you wanted to, you could use some of these. I've found that I didn't enjoy using these very much, but you can use these connectors on the end of your wires. I've really just found them to be an aggravation because I couldn't get them crimped down hard enough and things along those lines when we put the wires onto the light switch. So there are several different things that you can do that will make it easier for you, make it more accustomed to the bucket light that you might want, and just make it nice for your family or make it nice for you, as you see my name on this one. All right, I'm going to get this one plugged up now, and we're going to see how our new bucket light looks. And there you have it. There's our small bucket light that we made. What you would do is to hang it. Our stuff is not dry here, so I'm not going to do it too much, but you would want to maybe drape, if you had a long cord, you could drape it over a tree and let your bucket light hang down. You could hang it with this, your bucket handle, from a tree branch, which I think that would be absolutely adorable. Or, as some of my friends have done, they just sit them on the ground. And they make beautiful night lights sitting around your patio, all around everywhere. This is a very easy, potentially inexpensive craft of stuff that you might have laying around the house. And believe me, every time somebody sees your bucket light, they're going to think you're one of the smartest people that they have ever known because you have such cool things around your place. So I'm going to unplug that there. But I hope you've enjoyed making the bucket light. If you'd like more information, you can always get in touch with us on Facebook or Twitter, and we'll try and get the instructions or directions to you. Well, I guess that's our show for today. We really hope that you've enjoyed it. If you would like to keep up with us, you can check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. Also, join us next time for Gettin' Crafty with Kimberly.